Black Clover Chapter 283, the unofficials are out, and this chapter gave me some Adventures Endgame vibes. You know, that classic scene in the movie where Doctor Strange used his teleportation or his portals, where everyone is walking out of it, and literally everyone was right behind Captain America. They were ready to fight Thanos, and you see a whole army behind him. That's what the end of this chapter reminded me of, man. That was that was crazy. Speaking of crazy, I asked you guys in the last chapter review, let's get this video over 1,500 likes, and you guys surpassed your limits on that because that video got over 3,000 likes. That's insane. So this time, let's go for 2,000 likes and see what happens. And be sure to subscribe to the channel with notification bells on. So let's talk about Black Clover Chapter 283, Mages Assemble. So this chapter begins where we see Asta is flying over the body of the ancient demon, and he's saying that we need to invade the Spade Kingdom, but being in Devil Union form, it's going to take a while to even get there. And Gimodello tells Asta that long-distance teleportation is impossible without Noct. However, Noct is not even in a position to even do that, because we know that Noct is in danger fighting off those two demons, Lilith and Nama, which are very strong demons, and we know Jack cannot help because he's getting yo-yoed currently by Dante. It's just bad all around, and we know that things are not looking good for Noct because last chapter Gimodello was telling Asta that he's in serious danger, and we need to get there. Hopefully, Noct is not fighting these demons on his own, and hopefully someone like Dorothy and Ozell showed up. We then see Asta depowers and he starts falling from the sky, and he's like, wow, that ran out quickly, implying that the 5 minutes is up because that's how long he could stay in his Devil Union mode, which he explained to us last chapter. But we see that he's falling through and a spatial magic portal is open, and we know that as Fenrir because it's the rest of the Black Bulls. We can just tell the way they interacted, it was the rest of the Black Bulls. And when Asta lands there, he starts smiling and they tell Asta, you really got strong again, but you tried to go by yourself? How cold could you be? Now, we do not see any other Black Bulls' faces, but we see 6 sets of legs in this manga panel. And we know that out of those 6 sets of legs, we know that one is Vanessa, the other is Gray, then we have Fenrir, and we have Henry, and then we have Ghosh. And the main reason why these are the 5 out of the 6 confirmed that we've seen out of this panel, because we did see that Noct told the Black Bulls, if you guys want to save that bastard, talking about Yami, then you have to get stronger. And we know that these are the same people that fought Dante and lost. Now, out of the 5, who is the last one? Who is the 6th? And my guess, it has to be Gordon. Only reason because in the past 6 months, we know that Gordon has been practicing with his family, trying to learn and understand curse magic and how to remove curses as well. And he has been shown very frequently throughout the story, even in the anime, that he has been practicing this. We have not seen a lick of Magna or Zora. We've seen Magna try to train in the Heart Kingdom, but that went bad. And we found out from Vanessa that Magna and Zora has been together for a while now during the 6-month time skip. So I think Tabata is going to make them show up together, or this could be one of those misleading panels where all of the Black Bulls are there, excluding the ones that's with the Spirit Guardians and the Elves. But I do think that Magna and Zora could be here, and this is one of those misleading panels that's about to showing us. Maybe he showed 6 sets of legs just to hide Zora and Magna, which I really don't know what he's planning with these 2 characters for hiding them this long. They probably got some of the most craziest magic power-ups that we've seen in the series if he held them off for this long. So I'm excited to see Zora and Magna. Back in the Spade Kingdom, we see the demons are running rampant. They are going after everyone, almost like they're just brainless zombies, just going after anything they see. These devils started to go for the Spade Kingdom citizens, and then we see the resistance army of the Spade Kingdom started to protect them and fighting off these devils. And these devils, they're not that strong at all because throughout this story in this chapter, they're just getting one-shotted, so this lets us know that these are definitely low-ranking devils, and it seems like they're just strong in numbers, but not in power. We then see the squad with Sally on the battlefield trying to evacuate the citizens, and she's using her sticky salamander, grabbing them one by one, escorting them to safety. And she's telling everyone, hey, right this way, listening to her voice because that's the only thing they can follow because they really cannot see her because she's covered by Makuza's snow magic hideout of the snowman. And I knew that this guy was going to have snow magic because this is the same character that's based off the band Snowman Group And the singer from the Snowman group is also voice acting his own character. So that gotta be really cool to accomplish, right? But I remember saying this in chapter reviews when he first got introduced in the Spade arc. I was like, okay, if he's from the Snowman group, more than likely his magic type is going to be snow magic, and voila, it is snow magic. Really cool thing about his spell is that the spell itself is called Snowman, and it has 8 snowmen characters that just appeared, and excluding himself, there are 8 members in his band. So I think with this spell, I think Tabata is doing a direct reference to his band. That has to be so cool that you yourself is in a Black Clover story. You are in the manga, you are in the anime, and you get to voice act your own character. That's really awesome. So Tabata, if you're still taking applications, why don't you take this guy, put him in your story, put him in a manga, and give him cloud magic because, you know, for reasons, right? So if you made it this far into the video, hashtag put J Cloud in Black Clover. A little face reveal, but we can move on. We then see Valtzos, and he is teleporting people out of there, all of the citizens, using his spatial magic, and we see Seke, and Seke is talking crazy. He's like, yeah, if the enemy catches, I'm gonna blast him away with my magic, and in the back in his mind, he's like, please don't get caught, please don't get caught. And it's so funny, Seke's talking reckless, trying to put on this whole facade like he's this tough guy, but in the back of his mind, he's a wuss. Seke, as usual, he just acting crazy, but I do see him beating a devil in this arc. Like one of these low-ranking devils, he's going to use his brown magic and probably accidentally win a fight. So I'm excited for that. We then see finally our main guy. Well, my main guy, my favorite captain besides Yami, Fuegoleon, steps into the battlefield with the Salamander, and it looks as though the Salamander has increased in size dramatically. It's still not as big as we seen in episode 151 where William gave the Salamander mana and the Salamander was so massive to the point where the Salamander didn't even need to fly. It could just walk like Godzilla. So one day probably Fuegoleon will get the Salamander that huge, but for now, it's big enough because the Salamander is blasting away so many devils. It's ridiculous to the point where Fuegoleon, while the Salamander is blasting away these devils, he is also riding the Salamander, blasting away devils as well that are also flying in the sky trying to get at him. And while he's riding his Salamander, he says, even though the country is different, we still share the same desire to protect its people. If that's not a Wizard King speech right there, like, this guy has to be the next Wizard King. Him and Ozel, those are the 2 best candidates, but Fuegoleon has my vote. However, there are so many devils to the point where the Salamander cannot just GG every single body that's on this battlefield, which it'll be too risky because Fuegoleon will risk destroying all his comrades. So we see that some of the devils are breaking through. They see Seke, and Seke is screaming like, oh no, they found us, and everyone is running away. And then we just see a beam of light just blast away devils, and we see that it's the Heart Kingdom squad. We see the Spirit Guardians, which they really need to redeem themselves because the last time we seen them, they were almost in body bags. And everyone that has been following this channel for a while, you guys already know every time I speak about the Spirit Guardians, I'm disappointed. I just critique them all the time, but I think that they can redeem themselves this arc, hopefully, because when it comes to Gaja, Gaja is the one that I like the most. He is clearly the strongest one out of the Spirit Guardians, and he gets the job done. The way I look at him, like, he's like the game, and the Spirit Guardians are just a disappointing DLC pack. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let me just stop. But out of everyone else, we see that it's Mimosa. She's showing up. Nero. We see I got Leo. And we also see Luck. He showed up and he's already in his armor form. And not only him, but also Noelle. Noelle, she showed up and she's in her Valkyrie dress. We see Charmy, and we know that she is very excited to be there because of Yuno. And lastly, we also see Patri. But you gotta squint your eyes and really look at the panel to find him. It's almost like trying to find Waldo. And Tabata did this on purpose. He's trolling us because we know that all the elves are there, but he showed Patri just a little bit. And I'm very excited to see that ultimate magic from the elves. And also, in Noelle's case, I'm very excited what she's going to bring to the table. And I just find it funny how the way it's about to end this chapter. I gotta give it a 9 out of 10. But it's very funny how he had to make us find Patri. You had to squint your eyes and just had to see what's even there. And another thing that you have to squint your eyes to find is that subscribe button that you see right there on the bottom. Yeah, you hit that with notification bells on. You guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourself. Stay blessed. and I'm out.